I stopped despising my sensitive heart. I stopped trying to become hard and like protect myself and thinking, why are you so sensitive? Why are you taking that so personally? And instead just realizing like, oh, I began to value my sensitive heart instead of trying to protect my sensitive heart. You know?
Yes.
Like my sensitive heart is my superpower.
Yeah, that's why I just think it's beautiful for each person. It's probably such a cool image because it's true. Our Lady's heart and the Lord's heart is soft.
Yes.
I think of it as open, I guess. Like just an openness.
Wow, yes.
To the other, to trials.
Yeah.
To whatever will come.
When you like meditate on his heart, or just even, I don't want to use like super religious language about it, but like when you think about Jesus's heart, when you're attracted to Jesus's heart, drawn to Jesus's heart, appreciate his heart. Is that what it is for you? The like openness? Would that be the, okay.
His heart is on fire.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I asked that question.
Yeah. It is like the coolest flame, never ending.
What does that mean?
Well, it keeps me warm.
Wow.
It's purifying. It's like attractive, like in a dark place. It is the light. It is like drawing me to itself.
Wow.
Like the Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be an on fire heart like that. Like a flame in the darkness.
Wow. What does that mean to you in the darkness?
Well, I think in my own heart where I'm very much attracted to the idea that God will light up everything in my heart.
Yeah.
So I've written about that. I'm don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast much, but like that I have rooms in my heart or places in my heart that are so far gone, so far away from the sun. It's like Alaska when there's no sun.
Yeah.
There's like places of deep desolation that are so dark, and his light can and will light up even the darkest place that I think can never be touched by light. So that a darkness in my heart, awakening me in these dark crevices, dark places, and then that he is actually the light of the world. Like he will light up the darkness in the world. He does through us.
Yes.
We are little flames that are him in this wretched world, you know?
The outpost of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Little lighthouses.
Wow. I think light and darkness, flame burning, like that kind of purification, that kind of language, that's really like the metaphor of your life. That's your gospel lens.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a particular like verse or parable maybe that's rooted in for you.
I honestly cannot remember. It must have been from somewhere, but I remember my spiritual director like a year ago saying, it sounds like you have a devotion to the Sacred Heart.
Whoa.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do more gravitate towards a devotion to the precious blood. So she just encouraged me to get some Sacred Heart imagery for my home. But I can't remember. There must have been something there that made her say that. And I can't remember what it is now.
I'm thinking again of that book, Context for Holiness, how Therese is always associated with flowers and how, again, people can really dismiss that as flowery. Yeah. But he gives examples like in her writing, how essentially like flowers and God as the sun is like the main image of her life, of her spirituality. And so everything's understood through that lens and language. And for me, I've been thinking about this for the past few months, like the parable of my life is the sower. Like everything for me is seed, planting, harvest. Like I understand everything about the spiritual life through agriculture. And actually, before this conversation, I would have said for you that was like the boat and water, but maybe that's more specifically.
Yeah.
Blessed is she. But yeah, light, fire, darkness, sin. That's really your lane.
Purification.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. That's like what resonates with you.
Yeah.
It's how you understand, I think, your own life and the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I had this image. I was on a podcast last week And we were just praying at the end. And I had this image and I didn't get a chance to share it because I wasn't super familiar with the podcast host. So I couldn't be like, hey, I had this image I wanted to share, you know?
Right.
So I'll share it here. I had this image of a field of flowers and they were all like kind of sad and like wilty. And the sun came up and it was like the sun was holding a watering can.
Wow.
It was rain, but it was like in these like pockets of like a watering can where you're just kind of doing it in strokes or in certain areas.
Yeah.
You know, like taking care of the ones that needed a little more.
Yes.
I've never gardened anything, so I don't know if that's a thing.
I'm very consoled just by you even doing that movement with your hand. I'm feeling watered. Seriously.
Yeah. And I just saw all of these little sad flowers just lift up their head.
Wow.
And like they were able to like accept the rain even more because they lifted their head by the light. Mm-hmm. Like because of the light, they lift their head and then they're able to like accept even more rain.
Yeah.
Even more water. What's that word I'm looking? Even more, not sustenance, like food, but like
hydration, whatever. Nourishment.
Yeah. They were able to accept even more of the water and to be hydrated by it.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. It was just so powerful. I thought of it because you were saying light. I just think there's something about light in general to me that it like brings us to life.
Yeah.
And your agriculture.
I think it's a cool thing to meditate on. Like, what draws me about the heart of Jesus? What draws me in the gospel? Pay attention to those things that are so personal because they become for you a key, as in like a way to understand, a lens, a worldview. Things make sense through your understanding of who God is. And I think the way God designed us, like story and image helps us to make sense of our life in the world.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with us.
We love praying with you and we want to do that some more. So hit the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on your notifications bell. Bing!